What's up, world? This is your man, MrSan44Man, seen in 86 plus countries around the world. And I just want to send a shout out because you know what today is. Today is the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King. Shouts out to his family and Dr. King. We all appreciate what you did for us. This is your man, MrSan44Man. Today is also the re-inauguration of this cat right there, President Obama and Joe Biden, going back in for a second term, first black president in ever. And I want to say that things looking good for us, but that wouldn't be keeping it real and wouldn't be keeping it raw. Like, for instance, you know, even Columbus get a holiday sale, you know what I'm saying, where people going out to the mall, they know that they're gonna buy something because it's Columbus Day. Columbus was a fucking thief. That's what he was. Now, if that's what this country wants to do to promote a thief, fine, that's what you do. But give Dr. King his due respect, because Dr. King made sure there was peace on this earth amongst black and white people, because black and white people know that our relationship is very strained in this world, very strained. Then you got some good white people, you got some good black people, you got some bad white people, you got some bad black people. And it's bad for black people because black people don't know if they got bad black people on their side or good white people on their side. So we don't know, because you don't walk around with sheets and hoods anymore like you used to back in the day. But sometimes in some states you do still practice that, Memphis, and just put that out there, that the southern states do promote that, and it still is. And we have a black president, but we still have little clan organizations. We have a black president, and we have very high unemployment amongst black people. Didn't mean that he promoted it. It was just in a disarray that everybody wants to know what he's going to do, as if he's the Messiah, and he's just an ordinary man just trying to make a better way and a better day for us all. So, with that said, I thought that maybe some shots out should have been put out more for Martin Luther King and Dr. King's Day, and because this man did a lot for us, and we should honor that. And everybody should give him his due respect. Now, with all that said, guess what today is, and this is his birthday. On the calendar today, it's supposed to be Blue Monday. Now, Blue Monday is supposed to be the worst damn day in the whole year. The worst day of the year. The very, very worst day you don't want to be around in that day. Today. Martin Luther King birthday. President Obama's re-election inaugural. Who made it such a great fucked up day to make both of these activities that's for black people on the worst day on the calendar that you say is called a Blue Monday? I thought it was Martin Luther King Day. I ain't see nothing that said Blue Monday. But Blue Monday is supposed to be the worst day of this year. Worst day of the year. And you put our Dr. King's birthday on that day. Thank you, America. We always can seem to not depend on you when we really need you. Not one commercial, not even one acknowledgement of that man's birthday in the city of Detroit. Now, I don't know what it's like in your town, your state. Maybe y'all do. Then maybe you don't have things closed, because a lot of things are not closed here. You know, my lawyer's office is still open. Other than a federal thing, everybody else is still doing business because they don't respect that day. It's all good, but maybe some of us shouldn't be busting our ass to respect Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter, 4th of July, Columbus Day, Halloween. All these things we bust our asses to get for our kids that disrespect us in a country that tells them and allows them to do this to us. We're good with that. Hey, hey, I don't make the rules, people. And a lot of you may look at me like, oh, he's a racist, he's a prejudice. Let me tell you one damn thing. I'm black. My ancestors were slaves. How the fuck do I become racist? You took a country of people and brought them to another land, separated them. Now, you all did that, y'all. Took people from another country, brought them to another country, had that country that they brought them to, government, legalize it, and everything ran good. Certain group of people just thought they bought this planet Earth. Certain group of people just thought they made and created this planet Earth for them and them only. Certain people around this world run around here like they just can't go without some type of power. That's why we're all twisted in this world. This world is so twisted, it's not even funny. Yeah, everybody down there standing in line in Washington, D.C. to go see President Obama get reelected. But some of them down there just nosy because they don't like him. The Congress, the Senate, they not working with him. They even talking about how difficult they going to make it for him, even though he got a second term. Now, when you got somebody that you're working with that don't want to work with you, what does that say? Is that prejudice or is that just, I don't like you? Which one? Let me know. Because, you know, I really get sick and tired of the way we can't come up in this world. But everybody says that, oh, the world is a new day and we're going to embrace you all and everybody is on the same page. No, we're not. No, we're not. And stop using that goddamn word bipartisanship. There's no bipartisanship. They don't give a damn what Obama say in that White House. Nothing. That's why we're in the fiscal cliff. That's why we're getting ready to go to the ceiling debt. All that. But everything is good. Everybody want to party. Remember the last 4 years when we had that party? Yep, everybody party. Hell, I even party. But then right after the party, they damn near crucified Obama. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He promised it. They never even gave him a running chance. Now he's back in another 4 years, and they damn sure ain't gonna give him a running chance. Matter of fact, they promised they gonna make it even harder on him than they did the last 4 years. And this is America, home of the free, land of the brave. See, this is the reason I created this show. Because, see, this is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. It's your man, MrSan44Man, just keeping it real and raw. Down here, city of Detroit, today it's a snowy day, very, very cold. I thought I would go out here and ask a few people some questions on Dr. King, but no one's out, and they seem like they running so quickly they don't want to stop and kick it. Well, I guess not. It's 19 degrees, but then I just seen a slew of them riding bikes. Go figure. But hey, this is your man, MrSan44Man, out here on the streets of Detroit, keeping it real, keeping it raw with y'all, and letting you know, hey y'all, we need to start asking some of these questions about why when our leaders and why when our race of people have special events and special occasions that's on the calendar, we don't have nothing, not shit. Next month is African American History Month. I wonder what they got for us on TV. Right now, y'all can go check out Roots for a few hours if you want to go see it on BET. But other than that, you ain't going to see nothing on 247. You ain't not going to see nothing on the major national networks. They won't even show you a autobiography of him on none of these channels. Do you think I should have an attitude about that? When I would like to see that? Reminisce about those days when it was hard like that? Where everybody feels like we're out here and we just as free as the white man? We don't even in football have an offensive coordinator. We don't have an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. We don't have owners that are totally black in these NFL countries. We don't have none of these cities that have none of these people that represents these football teams we watch. Not one of them the general owner, manager of that company. And then they talk about diversity. Well, we're trying to get more African American people up in the front office. Why weren't we up there in the first place? Why do black people always seem like when we achieving something, or it's a right for us to achieve something, they always seem like they don't know in the equation where the fuck was going on when they were doing hiring and seeing black people, or as if black people never even applied for the job. And then when a black person does make something of themselves, they say, oh, he's got to be a credit to his race. Did anybody say that when y'all had credit to y'all races? But let me just stop right here, because what I'm saying is a little bit too deep for some minds out there. And some listeners really don't want to hear. But my motto is like this. If you don't want to hear the truth, like I tell you, always, you're free to keep it moving. You're free to do that. Don't let my rhetoric stop you from switching to another channel. But if you want to hear the truth, the realness, and all of us are walking around acting like we're living in this little cotton candy world where everybody is free, everybody love each other, is that what you want me to say? If that's what you want me to say, I suggest you go to your 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock news, because I'm not giving you that information. I'm keeping it real, I'm keeping it raw, and I'm letting you know where it's coming from. It's just coming from your man, MrSan44Man, in the streets of Detroit, letting you know it real and raw. Take a look at your TV today, people. Siphon through the information you keep hearing, and ask yourself, out this whole day, count how many Martin Luther King sales, Martin Luther King recognitions. Ask yourself, how many did you see today? And give me a shout out, MrSan44Man, on the comment. Tell me on the 20th or 21st of January 2013, you tell me how many opportunities and how many celebrations and how many good wishes and opportunities it was for black people to enjoy Martin Luther King birthday, or did President Obama's re-inauguration supersede all that so they could just say, well, you had to for one because you had an inauguration, you knew it was on his birthday, so therefore you should be happy. On the worst day of the year, Blue Monday. Peace.
Don't even buy into this. We just want to tell you that today, for some reason on the calendar, is considered Blue Monday. It's considered to be the most depressing day of the year.
But if there are many cures out there, and if you're seeking one, just pull out your wallet and head to the mall.
Yeah.
According to an online survey, more than a third of Americans say winter is the season that they would most likely use to shop to improve their mood. And only 9% feel guilty about their choice of therapy. Good for you. It's going to be Blue Monday because that will be the color of our lips.
What's up, world? It's your man, MrSan44Man. As you can see, this is another way that we honor Dr. King. Dr. King has a high school here in Detroit, Michigan, and it's the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School. That's one of the ways that we like to show Dr. King how much we appreciate him in Detroit, Michigan. It's your man, MrSan44Man, Detroit Raw.
Our journey is not complete until all our children, from the streets of Detroit to the hills of Appalachia to the quiet lanes of Newtown, know that they are cared for and cherished and always safe from harm.
What's up, Detroit? It's MrSan44Man, and it's Martin Luther King birthday. As you can see, the parade has just started. Let's check it out. What's up, Detroit? It's your man, MrSan44Man down here with Trey. We're doing it right, we're doing it big, we're doing it good. Dr. King, it's his birthday, and it's going on in Detroit only, y'all. Out here it's freezing. It's 19 degrees out here. We partying. That man right there, Dr. King, don't forget. It's MrSan44Man out of here.
The widow of the slain civil rights leader Medgar Evers, who was shot now nearly 50 years ago. We talked about a number of things last night, but particularly the thrills she says she got when she was called to come and give the invocation here at the inauguration. She's the first woman, the first lay person to do such a thing at a presidential inauguration, and she of course does so with the first African-American president of this country on a federal holiday named in honor of Martin Luther King Jr., the slain civil rights leader, who, like Medgar Evers, gave his life for the cause of freedom. And we also talked about the difficulties she has encountered over the past 50 years in trying to promote and preserve his legacy. It's been a tough journey. Here's how she described it.
It's been difficult, but it's worked. Because when you remove yourself from the anger and the bitterness, and you focus on the positive, and you search for the meaning, for the anger and the hatred that took this man's life, you either sink to that level or you rise above it all.
Indeed, she has risen above it all. She will be out here, we think, about 11:35. She has 180 seconds to deliver a prayer for the country. She says she's very excited about it.
In that spirit of faith, I would now like to introduce civil rights leader Medgar Evers, who has committed her life to extending the promise of our nation's founding principles to all Americans. Mrs. Evers will lead us in the invocation.
America, we are here, our nation's capital, on this day, January the 21st, 2013, the inauguration of our 45th President, Barack Obama. We come at this time to ask blessings upon our leaders, the President, Vice President, members of Congress, all elected and appointed officials of the United States of America. We are here to ask blessings upon our armed forces, blessings upon all who contribute to the essence of the American spirit, the American dream, the opportunity to become whatever our mankind, womankind, allows us to be. This is the promise of America. As we sing the words of belief, "This is my country," let us act upon the meaning that everyone is included. May the inherent dignity and inalienable rights of every woman, man, boy, and girl be honored. May all your people, especially the least of these, flourish in our blessed nation. 150 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and 50 years after the March on Washington, we celebrate the spirit of our ancestors, which has allowed us to move from a nation of unborn hopes and a history of disenfranchised votes to today's expression of a more perfect union. We ask too, Almighty, that where our paths seem blanketed by thorns of oppression and riddled by pangs of despair, we ask for your guidance toward the light of deliverance, and that the vision of those who came before us and dreamed of this day, that we recognize that their visions still inspire us. They are a great cloud of witnesses, unseen by the naked eye, but all around us, thankful that their living was not in vain. For every mountain, you gave us the strength to climb. Your grace is pleaded to continue that climb for America and the world. We now stand beneath the shadow of the nation's capital, whose golden dome reflects the unity and democracy of one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approximately 4 miles from where we are assembled, the hallowed remains of men and women rest in Arlington Cemetery. They who believed, fought, and died for this country. May their spirit infuse our being to work together with respect, enabling us to continue to build this nation. And in so doing, we send a message to the world that we are strong, fierce in our strength, and ever vigilant in our pursuit of freedom. We ask that you grant our president the will to act courageously but cautiously when confronted with danger, and to act prudently but deliberately when challenged by adversity. Please continue to bless his efforts to lead by example in consideration and favor of the diversity of our people. Bless our families all across this nation. We thank you for this opportunity of prayer to strengthen us for the journey through the days that lie ahead. We invoke the prayers of our grandmothers who taught us to pray, God, make me a blessing. Let their spirit guide us as we claim the spirit of old. There's something within me that holds the reins. There's something within me that banishes pain. There's something within me I cannot explain. But all I know, America, there is something within. There is something within. In Jesus' name, in the name of all who are holy and right, we pray. Amen.
What's up, world? This is the birthday celebration for Dr. Martin Luther King right here in Detroit, Michigan. Happy birthday, Dr. King. No. I'm taping Dr. King's parade. Right here on the boulevard. I mean, right here on Lawrence. Yeah, you can really see it. This is MrSan44Man. Everybody just having fun doing this celebrating march for Dr. King's birthday on this very, very cold day.
Right, making sure we cut that. Right, I do it slow. Feel like you gotta go way over.
Happy birthday, Dr. King, from Detroit. Happy birthday, Dr. King.
Hey, so I'm behind it. Yeah. Y'all want to take our picture over there?
Hey, Xavier.
A little bit difference in mood from the folks who are already outside to the president and his party moving through the hallway. Half of them look like they're headed for an execution.
I think that's right, and maybe not very rational now. 4 years ago, maybe, because Barack Obama came with problems coming from almost every direction. Now, at least, he's capable. He's in a situation where he can give a speech that gives a little bit more of what he would like to do, rather than how he's going to respond to things that have been thrown in his lap.
Sergeant Arms just broke it up a little bit by turning around and saying something to the president that got a smile out of him, but everyone remarking the same things, David, today. The president's older and grayer.
Yeah.
Daughters have grown up. We've all changed. 4 years have passed. Look at that crowd.
And I was thinking about this. We're not the only ones glued to our screens here. The president's walking a little, tighter and straighter, shoulders up, understanding that ceremony has a purpose, in part because the whole world is watching our transition of power. It's not a transition, it's a continuation, as you pointed out. But that matters, particularly as we think about America's place in the world, which I think this president will talk about today, has to begin at home and become more sound economically so that we can have influence in the rest of the world that may have waned because of our problems.
Now, it is my honor to introduce the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Sonia Sotomayor, for the purpose of administering the oath of office to the Vice President. Will everyone please stand?
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for doing this.
Mr. Vice President, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
It is my honor to present the Chief Justice of the United States, John G. Roberts, Jr., who will administer the presidential oath of office. Everyone, please rise.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend.
The
Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by award-winning artist Beyoncé, accompanied by the U.S. Marine Band. Following the national anthem, please remain at your place while the presidential party exits the platform.
Thank you, Kelly. And this is the signing room, the signing ceremony. You see the leadership of both the inaugural committee. Let's listen in.
I'm proclaiming peace on earth and goodwill towards men. Amen.
This is the document making the inauguration official.
Mr. Charles Timothy Hagel for Defense, Mr. John Kerry, Secretary of State, and Mr. Dan Brennan of Virginia for Central Intelligence Agency. There you go. Great. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Look forward to it.
As we watch this, I am told we have the ability to speak to Congressman John Lewis. Congressman, you're there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you very much for being with us today. I have to add a personal note. My condolences. I know you lost your wife Lillian of 44 years over the New Year's break, and I wanted to pass along my condolences and that of our entire team, Congressman.
Well, thank you.
You and I have made a bit of a tradition of talking on Inauguration Day, and we looked up last year's transcript, Congressman, and my question to you was, do you worry about the expectations on this young man? And that's interesting because we would not think anymore of President Obama as a young man given all that he and we have been through. What do you think about the expectations on him now?
Well, I think we should still anticipate and expect more. This president is prepared, ready, willing, and able to lead the American people to greater heights.
Congressman, what did you think about the geometric and geographic symmetry today? The president was looking out, in effect, at Dr. King, at the monument that's been placed there in the 4 years since this happened last.
Well, I tell you, Brian, it's unreal to me. It is unbelievable. As Lyndon Johnson would say, it's like history and fate coming together for this president, this African American, to be inaugurated for a second time on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and can look out and see the likeness of Martin Luther King Jr., to see Jefferson, to see Lincoln. It's just unreal. And 150 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, almost 50 years after the March on Washington for Dr. King delivered the I Have a Dream speech, it says something about the distance we've come, the progress we've made, and for him to make a speech that was so all-inclusive. It was about black people, white people, Asian American, Latino, Native American, straight, gay, that we're one people, we're one family, we're one house, we all live in an American house.
Well, about that last point, Congressman, and we want to let you go enjoy your lunch. We all do live in the same house, and there you are. You've gone from the struggle earlier in your life to a warrior in the House of Representatives. You've got an anxious American public watching. A lot of them would really like to see some folks getting along in Washington. What are the prospects for that?
The prospect are very bright. We're going to continue to work together and pull together to look out for the common good. One thing I've been doing the past few years with the group, taking Democrats and Republicans, blacks, white, Latinos, Asian American, back to some of the historic places of the Civil Rights Movement. In a few weeks, we're going to go back to Birmingham, to Montgomery, and to Selma, and build that sense of community, build us to move closer toward the beloved community. If we can have it out in the outer lands, we can have it here in Washington, in the Congress.
Congressman, look behind you. The president's heading into lunch. We'll let you do the same. And thank you very much, Congressman John Lewis of Georgia, for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to join the president for lunch.
Okay, figured you might want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Barack H. Obama, and Mrs. Obama, accompanied by Senator Charles E. Schumer and Mrs. Schumer.
At some point, the cameras are turned off and they are allowed to dine in private. But there is a program for this lunch. Senator Schumer is rifling through his loose-leaf notebook.
He's running a good show.
He's
been right on top of it.
Mr. President,
He was my student at Harvard, and he talked the whole time.
ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Mr. Vice President, honored guests, my colleagues on the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies and I are pleased to welcome you to today's inaugural luncheon. In this historic room, we look around at the 35 statues representing men and women. Well, one woman. Thank you, Illinois and Senator Durbin, for the statue of Frances Willard, though I feel obligated to note that she was born in Rochester, New York. Thankfully, she will soon have company when Rosa Parks completes her journey from the back of the bus to the front of Statuary Hall later this year. Remember the men and women who helped define our nation. They, like us, faced obstacles, and they, like us, worked hard to move this country forward. Here in this hall, 4 presidents took the oath of office. Here, Abraham Lincoln served his single term in Congress, and John Quincy Adams, the only former president to return to serve in the House, spoke out against slavery. Today, we also remember an event that took place outside this building, but reverberated within. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington, which spurred passage of the historic civil rights laws. We're honored to have with us a colleague, Congressman John Lewis, who was a speaker at that historic march. Congressman Lewis's life exemplifies the courage and sacrifice that have made our nation great. John, please stand and take a bow so we all can recognize you. Behind us, the painting we have chosen for this luncheon is Niagara Falls, painted in 1856 by Ferdinand Richard. For me, as a New Yorker, Niagara Falls never fails to inspire a tremendous awe for the natural beauty of our great country. Then and now, the mighty falls symbolize the grandeur, power, and possibility of America. And I want to thank my former Senate partner, our great Secretary of State, Hillary Rodham Clinton, for allowing us to borrow this beautiful painting from the State Department collection. But frankly, we aren't here for the paintings, we're here for the food.
This trial lawyer. Local 4 honors the memory of Dr. Martin